Stefan is the temporary team leader, strong-willed, charming, and experienced in the field. His other partner is David, similar in age to Jessica but stubborn, conservative, and not very talkative. The three of them live together in a rundown apartment, spending their days discussing their work, gathering intel, and training in hand-to-hand combat. Their target is Dr. Mark, a Nazi doctor stained with the blood of countless Jewish victims. He carried out horrific genetic experiments, with millions of Jewish children suffering as a result. After more than 2 years tracking him, Stefan and David find out that Mark, now using a fake identity, is working as a gynecologist at a hospital in East Berlin. Using their intel, Jessica and David pose as a married infertile couple to get close to him. During gynecological exams, Jessica secretly snaps several photos with a tiny camera. Once they've confirmed his identity, they just need the right moment to strike. During their close work in that small space, a classic trope unfolds. Jessica and David start catching feelings for each other. Despite David's reserved yet desperate charm and Jessica's longing affection, his special status as a spy forces him to keep his distance. But under the stress of pregnancy, fate leads Jessica into bed with Stefan. A few days later, Stefan and David finalize their plans. Jessica returns to the hospital for another checkup. Taking advantage of Mark's guard being down, she suddenly injects him in the neck with a syringe filled with anesthetic, faking an unconscious collapse. Stefan and David quickly disguise themselves as medical staff, carrying Mark onto a gurney and hustling him out of the hospital. Late at night, they swap the ambulance for a postal van to make their escape toward their destination. The kidnapping is going smoothly until an unexpected issue arises as they try to get Mark on the train. The sedative's effect wears off, and Mark wakes up screaming, sounding the alarm and waking East German soldiers. Their rush causes even more troops to show up, and the increasing odds force the three to retreat and imprison Mark in their apartment, waiting patiently for orders from above. From then on, they take turns guarding him. Mark is a stubborn and foul-tempered man who refuses to eat and constantly threatens suicide. Stefan and David have to force-feed him, and the strain weighs heavily on them all, emotionally. It wasn't easy enduring the bad news flooding in. Mossad's leadership abandoned the mission, and the CIA washed their hands of it, calling it too risky. Bound by their morals, the three agents couldn't just kill Mark directly. Worse, Jessica discovered she was pregnant with Stefan's child while Mark manipulated them all, driving wedges between them. Later, enraged David brutally beat Mark, leaving him wounded. Unexpectedly, Mark grabbed a broken disc fragment. While they were distracted, he used it to free himself and viciously attacked Jessica, who was caught off guard. Panicked, Mark snatched the disc and fled. As the mission seemed doomed, a barely conscious Jessica struggled up, aimed, and shot Mark in the back, stopping him instantly. This mission shot the agents to fame. Stefan got promoted to head of Mossad intelligence, and Jessica became a national icon in Israel. They married and inspired generations with their legendary story. 30 years later, Jessica's daughter, a journalist, uncovered her mother's past. She published a best-selling biography that catapulted Jessica back into the spotlight. Even the scar on her face turned into a badge of honor. Now in her 50s, Jessica is busier than ever, traveling, giving speeches, and doing interviews. With endless applause and flowers, her fame and fortune keep growing. But Jessica didn't feel happy or proud. Instead, she was weighed down by worry and anxiety. Through the couple's conversations, we learn their relationship is toxic. This perfect marriage is just a facade. Signs suggest they're hiding something. Stranger still, the long-missing David suddenly appears and meets privately with Mossad agents. As he's about to get into a car, he locks eyes with Stefan, and then deliberately throws himself under a huge truck, committing suicide. As the story jumps through time, a shocking secret emerges. Jessica was ambushed by Mark and was too weak to fight back. He escaped without a trace. With the mission deemed a failure, they would become national disgrace. So the three of them conspired, fabricating Mark's death to become celebrated heroes. Knowing Jessica and Stefan didn't truly love each other, David once suggested running away together, but Jessica refused to give up everything she had. Heartbroken, David disappeared for decades. Then, a Ukrainian newspaper reported that Dr. Mark was found in a mental hospital, unable to live with his guilt. David felt it was time to reveal the truth, but was stopped again by Jessica. After 30 years of torment and being rejected twice by the woman he loved, David felt utterly lost and chose to end his life. Stefan's legs were paralyzed, and he couldn't move. Jessica couldn't tell the truth to authorities. If the news leaked, not only would Jessica and Stefan be ruined, but their family would face severe backlash. With no options left, Jessica took matters into her own hands, bringing a poison needle to the hospital to kill Dr. Bernhardt herself. Mark was just a fanatic Nazi enthusiast. Stories all hearsay. Still, Jessica wrote down the truth. Knowing the great lie from 30 years ago led to the heavy guilt years later, it had to end. As the story neared its close, Jessica accidentally saw Mark, the doctor from 30 years ago. Such a Nazi remnant had to be stopped. But Jessica underestimated Dr. Bernhardt. Though frail, she was at a disadvantage, suffering several stabs. Yet, in a tense final moment, she managed to inject poison into Mark's back, and both died together. Thanks for watching. This is Bahal Recap. See you next time.